community is not bad. Every person is not good, but you got some police that really care. You know what I mean? It's a lot of them that really care. You know what I mean? Like Blondie, like, you know what I mean? Grooms, she been right there from when we playing in the black hole. She ain't had to be right there. You know what I mean? She was just trying to make sure that neighborhood and that quarter of the neighborhood was cool. You know what I mean? She ain't had to say what she said to me many a times, but she did say it. Like, gee, you got all this, like, this power with this music. Why you want to act a fool? Why you want to be caught with 40-ounce drinking? Somebody chasing you, you trying to throw a weapon. Use your ability to, you know, no matter how many times she said that to me, it really actually sunk in. You know what I mean? Because I'd be like, getting ready to do something, I'd be like, dang. You know what I mean? Blondie might pop up from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because she'll pop up. No, she'll pop up from anywhere. I'm talking about, I used to be like wondering how she like used to get in between the crease of the house on my block. She'll be just like this. And you might hear she trying to turn the radio down, and it's like she was really caring though. Right. When she'll lock you up, she got to do her job. Right. But you know what I mean? I already found out that she cared when we had a block party. We was playing out there, and the block party before that time when the young got shot out there, we went to block. Come on, Blondie, we just trying to play, man, round our way. She was like this. They don't want y'all to play, but I'm going to make sure y'all play. But you got to tell them, G, that you gonna promise ain't never gonna happen. I said, I'm gonna try, but I can't promise nobody act crazy. She made sure the hot dogs, all that there. When my man got killed on the block, I was out there 48 hours without taking a shower, crying. My homie out there, I'm just thinking crazy stuff. She talking to me. She sat on the car like this, look, you gotta change your life around. This is gonna be a breaking point of your life. You got all this good music, these kids wanna hear you. So if you go to jail or you get killed, you just another dude that was out there. She ain't had to say that. You know what I mean? They say white people this, black people. It ain't about the color of your skin. It's about what you trying to make a change in the community.
We have to step up and become their family. We all become one as a family. Right.
Sometimes people know who committed these crimes, and they happen right in the community. So let's talk about a snitch. What is a snitch, and what does that word mean to you?
Put it in these shoes right here. Say like somebody kill your grandmother, and you come in that sector of the town, and you asking people, you passing out flyers. You gonna want somebody to say who killed your grandparent. You gonna want that person to tell that information. And in your eyes, in your mind, you're not looking at that person as being a snitch.
Right.
When you don't report these things, it's like you're sitting by and you don't care. Let these things go on and on, they build up. You know when things happen that aren't right. And it's not being a snitch, it's about caring about your community and the people in it.
When this cat tried to break in my mama's house, I wanted to know who did it. So I needed to hit the canvas the neighborhood and find out who did it. So then I need a snitch then. I think it's like to create the situation and the environment where we don't have to get to that point. At the end of the day, I don't think it's about snitching. I don't think it's about any of that. It's about prevention.
If it's a situation where it's involving someone getting hurt, you know, a situation where, you know, to me, I look at that as another reason to maybe speak out, you know. That has nothing to do with a camaraderie or, you know, something that we were all involved in. That just has something to do with somebody got hurt, I saw it, you know, and I care for that person enough that I'm gonna speak out on it, so.
What can you say to a young person who has no hope in their eyes and can see no future?
Is that it's more to life than whatever's going on right now in your life. You know, it has to be some reason why he feels that way. Maybe people have been lying to him. Maybe it's a situation where he hasn't seen anything but negative.
To look at me now, you wouldn't know that I have been through things that I've been through. But it's only by the grace of God that I'm here right now. I didn't have the job that I had 5 years ago. I didn't have the education I had 5 years ago because I didn't believe that I was worth anything. But it took me realizing that it's my choice. No matter what happens, it's my decision on how far I go in life, on what I do, on what I become. And to that person who has no hope in their eyes, I'm here to tell you that it takes you to make the difference. It doesn't matter what your mother does, what your father says. They're going to talk to you till you're blue in the face, but it takes you to finally decide and say, I've had enough, and I want to change. And I need to figure out what I need to do to make that change possible. It's possible. It's out there. We have resources out there for us to use. MPD is here for you. If you don't know what to do, pray. It's out there, and it's up to you to decide how to change your own life.
Never, here's one thing you must always learn. Never forget where you come from. You always appreciate where you're at, where you're going, you know what I'm saying? And I never forget the time when I slept in the streets, when I ate out of the garbage can, when I used to pick cigarette butts up off the ground. Started smoking when I was 7 years old, nothing to be proud of. Got my high school diploma, I learned several trades. I learned how to make suits and top coats. I learned how to play that guitar. Right. And what I knew, when I knew that I was gonna be all right, was when the showtime on Saturdays was at 5 o'clock, you know, in the auditorium. You know, all the musicians, everybody can do something, sing or dance. That's what you do, you put on the show on Saturday. And then child time was at 5 o'clock. But then, if I was on the show, it won't be nobody to mess hall. Right. And that's when I knew that was gonna be the turning point in my life. When nobody in the mess hall, everybody was in the auditorium. And
basically, I just tell them the sky's the limit. You know, don't give up on your dream, even though, you know what I'm saying, times are rough now. There's always, you know, a sunny day on a, you know what I'm saying, after the clouds is gone. So I just say keep, you know what I'm saying, hope, you know what I'm saying, alive, and keep striving to be the best you could be. If it's in music, you know what I'm saying, don't let nobody tell you saying you can't do it. You know what I'm saying, if anything, you know what I'm saying, there's always a future out here for someone, and a better future. You ain't got to turn to the drugs or the violence or gangs or anything like that. You know what I'm saying, so don't let people tell you, man, this is all here for you, it's streets, because it's more than, you know what I'm saying, than that, the streets, because I'm a witness to that, you know what I'm saying, because I turned it around as far as, you know, being on the streets to being in a band and doing something more positive, and now I can, you know, give people, you know what I'm saying, what I got, you know what I'm saying, what I seen and what I had to go through. So I always know it's always a future out here. Don't ever think it's just always being on the corner, hanging with the fellas and all that, because all that do is get you in trouble, man. I know that for a fact.
I watched. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah. For them youngers that don't think they can make it, and somebody tell you got to run for it. Yeah. When you for the last little dude that's down on his luck, go get yourself together, man. Don't let them change. Right here, why we successful? Because we knew what we had to do. That was the last draw. I'm
a surviving gunshot victim. Been sexually abused as a youth. These are some of the things that I've been through that I can, you know what I'm saying, I can speak on as an adult and relate to. You know, I ain't have a silver spoon in my mouth. You know what I mean? Raised single parent household. It's definitely, you know, it's a mountain to climb. You're not alone. You know.
I think that God gives us all a gift. It's just the person that invests in that gift. You know, that it's like watering a flower, it's gonna grow. So I would take initiative to try to encourage them to see more and want to be more.
But there are programs out here, and there are people that care about you. Like, there are people out here that genuinely care about you. You might not feel it, you know what I'm saying? When you wake up in the morning and those four walls are staring at you, you might not feel it, but there are people out here that care about you.
We are the Go-Go community. We care. Do you?